Hi, everybody. I'm Grace Kelly.
And I'm Stephs Journey.
And today we would love to talk to you about our upcoming spiritual marketing retreat in Italy, October 5th to 7th. So you are in the right place. If right now you really desire to grow your coaching or healing business in a graceful, low-tech way with lots of flow, if you're someone who often has ideas, but then you don't follow through and you get stuck on logistics instead, or maybe you get stuck on everything needing to be perfect, or perhaps you feel you need permission before you can really do what you absolutely want to do as a service or as a business, as a career. And you're definitely in the right place if you've tried a prescribed way of marketing your services and growing your business, only to find that someone else's system or formula didn't work for you. Really, that's who this retreat is for. That's who this exploration is for, and it's definitely for you if you're new to your coaching or healing business, or you've been in your coaching or healing business for some time, and you've just been struggling to draw clients to you. Perhaps drawing clients to you has been very effortful, or you've lost your well-being in the process of building your business, or maybe you found that you've just one other area of your life has been suffering at the expense of you focusing over on your career and business. So, you're in the right place today because we want to speak directly to you about what spiritual marketing is and how it can support you. And we also want to share with you the opportunity and benefit of breaking free of the rut you're in and actually putting yourself in a new environment to retreat and experience a whole new way of growing your business. So, Steph, I'm not sure how you might like to share today, but I think some of our listeners may not know anything about you or I. So I might be tempted to say to you, what's been your experience of business and how has spiritual marketing supported you? And then I'll share a little about mine.
It's a good question. So I've been in the corporate arena for the best part of, I guess, 20 years. And then I struck out about 20 years ago, shows how old I am, into working for myself. And I had a design business and I had an art gallery and I had a succession of successful businesses. But my experience of creating those businesses and sustaining and maintaining those businesses was very hard work. It was very challenging. There were times when my experience was of stress and anxiety, and to the point at some stages of depression. And it was a very, very hard road, it seemed to me. Now, I suppose about 6 years ago, I came across an understanding of the mind. That once I'd spent some time immersing myself in this understanding, I began to see how my experience of creating businesses had been difficult and unnecessarily difficult. How my experience of bringing clients in had been something that I really didn't like. I didn't enjoy selling. I didn't enjoy having to put myself out there with people. So I saw that this experience that I'd had in my previous businesses had been unnecessary. Literally unnecessary. So with this understanding, I the way that I showed up in the world and the way that I created my own coaching business has been so effortless in comparison. You know, there have been ways of understanding how to connect with people, understanding where my creativity has come from, where creativity comes from for everybody, and where motivation and productivity, all those things are all, they're all a product of how we understand how life works. So my adventure has been, over the last 5 or 6 years, has been literally effortless in creating my business. And I really can't tell you how much I wished I'd known this before. You know, it would have saved an awful lot of stress and anxiety.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to getting the chance to be able to share some of my stories and hear some of your stories, Grace, because I know you've had a similar road, and to be able to connect really deeply with people on a level where they will very easily begin to get a sense of what it is we're talking about, and how they will be able to then apply what they've learned in their own business creation.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, and it's been a similar path for me too. You know, I started out, it was very much following the correct methods and formulas to what the traditional marketing world suggests to grow a business. So for me, this essence of spiritual marketing really brings us back to a much gentler, more graceful, easy way to just show up in the world from a place of deep service and cultivating connection, as we all love as humans anyway. Certainly on my path, what I really noticed started happening when I dropped the information overload and dropped the need to learn somebody else's stuff. What I noticed was just wisdom constantly leading the way with ideas, and a beautiful energy there to implement ideas. And I think that this is what's really on offer for any of you listening when you tap into your own spiritual marketing, when you tap into that essence of who you are and what gifts you've got to bring to the world. There's so much out there about how you need to do things a certain way, and there's a right way to do them, and you have to charge a certain amount, or you have to look a certain way. And I was one of those people that I was afraid to go on camera because I was so self-conscious. I was so afraid of being seen, being highly visible, and getting it wrong and being criticized. So I would, hide behind perfect photo shoots, branding, and all of that. And while I still love that high style element to a business, what I saw started to unfold was through that exploration of the principles behind life. I saw an innate confidence come forward. I saw that an insecurity fall away. And with that, wisdom began to take over and became more of the driving force than getting things right. So the beauty of spiritual marketing to me, Steph, is also that opportunity for people to just relax and lighten up about themselves, about their business, about what they're putting out in the world. And as a result of that, to show up really visibly and to draw opportunities and clients in a whole new way. And certainly that's what we're exploring on our spiritual marketing retreat in Italy. You know, Steph and I both have experience of how this beautiful approach has us break free of the rut, the stuckness, the routine, and has us engaged fully in our businesses. And I don't think that's unique to us, is it, Steph? I mean, we have experience with clients too. I mean, we're not the unique ones here.
No.
We've just had a 6-week exploration with a group of clients all around this approach as well. And some of the feedback we received about the changes in their life and the engagement with their business was quite astounding for a short course. So this retreat will be a deeper level of that. This retreat is for those of you that, you know, you're really wanting to simplify now. And you know that stuck in your same routine, your same environment, with your same thinking, you know that things aren't going to change. This retreat is an opportunity really for putting yourself in a whole new space with a group who are on a similar path, but who are really up for a new approach to their business and who are ready to see a lightness and a joy and a deep passion for what they're doing. That at least is how I'm seeing it right now, Steph. What about you?
I couldn't agree more. It's to me, life and maintaining a business felt like really, really hard work. And I think one of the biggest changes that I've seen about how I show up in the world now and about how my business looks to me is it's just fun. You know, it's just, I feel that there's a huge aspect of it is feels like play to me. And that quality of fun and play and joy and curiosity about, you know, how things can play out, how things can be created, is we are so much more engaged with life in that space than we are when we have lots of concerns and worries and fears and insecurity. So to me, that is echoed in the experience of a retreat. You know, what I've found is that the principles behind life and getting an understanding of how it works is not a you know, I must learn this, I have to take copious notes and I have to make it into some kind of educational hard work. The way it works is that when we get together on a retreat, we relax and we calm down and we have a conversation about the way our thinking plays a role in our everyday, every minute experience of life. And the conversation has the effect of slowing us down. And once we slow down in that environment, we go beyond the usual idea of how we learn. We go into a way of learning which goes beyond our intellectual approach. We go into a way of learning which is more of a realization about how things work. It's more of an insight-based thing. So the way to achieve that kind of level of learning is to be in a space on a retreat, typically with a small group of people, be in that conversation, not be in a kind of educational environment, but just be in a deep conversation. And what we found is that in a retreat setting, because people are away from their day jobs, because they're away from their home, the opportunity to reflect and wonder about what they're learning is where all the magic happens. You know, it's in those that downtime, those moments where, you know, they might be walking by the pool or walking in nature or just reflecting instead of thinking and trying hard to work it out. It's like, you know, when we kind of get stuff in the shower, when we've been trying so hard to think about stuff and find an answer, then we go into the shower, we relax, we forget about what we're trying to remember, and then all of a sudden it just appears. That's kind of how it works. So a retreat setting is, in my view, the quickest and most effective way of being able to have the conversation, but then to be able to allow that conversation to be assimilated, to allow it to soak in. And you're with like-minded people, so you've got people to bounce off. You've got people to be able to hear their stories and to hear what they're seeing. And over the course of 3 days, it is an absolutely magical space to be in. And we've seen such dramatic transformation in that short period of time, because people are allowed to sink into that space, and they're allowed to have their own insights, their own realizations about their life. It's not like we're being told what is right and what is wrong. We are given the opportunity to see for ourselves. And once we have a realization and an insight on a deep enough level, then that changes not just the way we see the world and we see our business, but it changes our behavior as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was on my very first retreat, and we were together, Steph, you know, that Steph and I we not only attended retreats together, now we host retreats for our own clients, but it was on that first retreat that I did where, you know, I was in Barcelona with you, and we were with another mentor, and to me, it was the noisiest city in the world when I arrived there. But within the space of 3 days, I had quietened down internally so much that it seemed to me like Barcelona had become really, really, really tranquil. And I suddenly got it. My God, it's always about whatever level of noise we're living in here. It's not out there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, those 3 days were such a beautiful reminder of, firstly, the level of noise we tend to live in. That's not our natural state. And secondly, how much our habitual insecure thinking can fall away when we touch that space of quiet within. And it doesn't matter if you're in a big noisy city doing this exploration like Barcelona, or if you decide to join us in Puglia, Italy, where it is quite tranquil as well, where the environment is supportive to your own settling down. And some of you might be thinking right now, well, couldn't I just travel and get the same thing? Well, to me, yes. I think any change of environment, I think, lends itself to a change of thinking. But that change of thinking is very temporary when you're doing it solely through travel. Here, with this exploration on retreat with us, you're going to receive transformational coaching. So you're not going to get a temporary fix where you go back to your life and your normal stresses and your daily habitual thinking and habits again. Each and every one of you is going to see something that will change your behavior very naturally and very incrementally, and it will change how you draw people to you and do business, because you will have had the shift internally. You will have had that insight that Steph just described. The other thing I want to share about retreating that I see to be helpful, is a retreat really does allow you to go within. And if you're in the service-based industry where you're coaching or healing or you're giving in any way on a regular basis, your level of well-being is very important. And so I know for me, regular retreats is how I choose to go and get my fuel and go and get my coaching. I used to be one of these people that, I got 30 minutes with a coach on a call and it was done in 30 and it had to be quick and I had to get off the call and I had to go and implement everything. I don't do that anymore. Like every quarter or so, a retreat and a container where we can go into this space and really see something new is where I see the most transformational results happening. And although our exploration on this retreat will be focused on business and spiritual marketing and drawing clients to you, you will be surprised at how this exploration touches every other area of your life and doesn't just touch the area that you're focused on during our time together. So if you're someone right now who's you're stuck in that rut, you've been trying to get things going, or you are doing pretty well, but you're really doing pretty well at a cost to your own well-being, or that of your family, or that of, your time, this is an opportunity for you to come join us and be with us in a deeper conversation in a whole new, beautiful space. If you'd love to find out more about the retreat, you can go to gracefulcoaching.net/spiritual marketing retreat /. And what we can share with you today is that we're keeping this group small. So we're looking at 6 spaces, 2 of which are gone. So we have 4 spaces left at present. We are meeting Friday the 5th of October in Puglia, Italy, at the hotel venue where the event will take place. And on Friday, there will be a check-in followed by an aperitivo, welcome. And on Saturday morning, we will coach for the morning. The afternoons will be siesta time. This is the time when you get to take care of self and let those insights occur for you. Let those ideas arise for you. And then Saturday evening, we'll rejoin together for more coaching on your specific needs. We'll see what's come up for you, what's developed, what's unfolded. And then on Saturday evening, we will also go to a local traditional farmhouse masseria where all the food from the land will be served in a beautiful way across 8 courses for us. So you'll get a real authentic flavour of Puglia, Italy. And you'll get olive oil tasting and wine tasting and a visit of that gorgeous masseria. And then Sunday morning, we'll meet again for coaching. And in the afternoon, after our exploration, we'll take a visit to another quaint village and have an Italian Sunday lunch. And in the evening, you will have departure. So it's three pretty succinct, filled days where you get to come and be part of this exploration and really learn to simplify your life and your business and break free of whatever you're stuck in right now. What I will share with you is that we have an early bird offer available right now, and you can get all the details for that over on gracefulcoaching.net/spiritual marketing retreat /. And we hope you'll join us. If this speaks to you, fill in the application form there, and Steph and I will set up a call to see if this is a good fit for you, if this is the right next step for you. Steph, did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
I think that I totally agree with you that out of all the the different programs that I've done over the last 5 years that I've attended as a participant and also hosted, the retreat format for me is by far the most effective, the most enjoyable, and the most fun way of, like you say, simplifying life, seeing how life works, but being able to do it in a place that we can connect so deeply with people, and we can experience Italy. I mean, that is just such a beautiful part of it. So my experience of those over the world, that is where I have seen the most. That is where I've had the biggest transformations. And I can't tell you how excited I am at the prospect of being able to hopefully meet you guys and get to share your presence and get to see you transform.
Yeah. And what I will share as a final piece for this one is, even like you said, Steph, I mean, even just going to Italy alone is a shift in ourselves. This is a coaching retreat, but the beauty of this style of retreat and what I love about it is that I'm here on the ground in Puglia, Italy. So I get to really enjoy, this is my passion, to bring people home here where they literally get an insider's experience, not a tourist experience, but an insider's experience of Italy. So, not only are we looking at a transformation around and through the coaching, but we're also going to fully enjoy and really bask in the pleasures and the beautiful things that are on offer here in Puglia, because we've already set up that scheduled in a light, easy way for people to really get a taste of what it's like here. Yeah. So if this speaks to you, if you're listening and it speaks to you, or if you know someone that it might speak to, feel free to share, and feel free to go ahead and fill in your application form, and we'll set up a call from there. So thanks for being here today, and we'll speak to you soon.
Lovely.
Bye, Steph.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.